We're live with that. Welcome to 11 True Crime. I hope you're all doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome in if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Welcome home. The Nolan Wells case. There goes our notification. We are live, darling. Think we found a clue. Maybe a clue. I don't want to oversell it. It's definitely something to focus on and figure out more about it. We've got news in the Nolan Wells case. So we now have a reward. Okay, we want to talk about Nancy Grace because she's in on the case. All right, so she's got a bone on the Nolan Wells case to pick, just like me. And then let's talk about this this yellow bag. Well, if this yellow bag, if it belongs to Nolan, which it's on that little board that he's standing on, if that's him, which it looks like him, the clothes match, and it's not an AI video, it's real. The metadata came back, it's an authentic video, and it's at 2:23. And it may be the last video of Nolan alive. I covered this video. We tried to guess the name. Some of you were like, it's Little Daddy. Some of you were like, it's Big Daddy. But a lot of you were like, it says Lil, Lil, because you can see it in the video. But what you're looking at is somebody else's recreation where they made it say Lil Daddy. So you're not looking at the original video. In fact, it's almost impossible to read. I personally think it says Mac Daddy, maybe meaning McCorm Mac. I could be wrong. So we have that. And then we have a bunch of other things like the Cajun Navy guy that was up in the air in the plane looking over when Nolan was found and what he has to say. There's a lot to cover. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I want to really look at that yellow bag because I think that could be a huge moment of understanding more. I'm still trying to understand the part about the phone and the location. You guys, we need to talk about that. I'm not quite comprehending why one app would say this and why one app would say that. I'm not getting that. I don't get that part. So let's say hello to a few of our beautiful live audience, as well as I appreciate you so much as my absolute gorgeous replay crew. I'm throwing some treats out there for you guys on the replay crew. Just look around the lounge. It's whatever you imagine it to be. It's like a Harry Potter kind of lounge. You imagine it, there's plenty of it. All right, my lovelies. Hello, Jennifer Swain, Jenny Bill, Smudger, Nick UK, CFC Daniel. Welcome to the channel. You say it surely doesn't add up. Yeah, there's so much to this case already. And what is with this stalling, this delayed autopsy report? I've worked over 150 cases with most of you over the last 5 years. Never, ever, ever have I seen an autopsy take this long to get released. And the family had a private autopsy too, and they're holding off because Ben Crump is saying, hey, they had the body first. They have more information. Let them release theirs and we'll do a follow-up with ours. So we have this almost like a chess game going on, in my opinion, a power struggle. And why wouldn't they want to release the autopsy? Now, that's something I want to talk about. So could there be a real reason that they don't want to release the autopsy? He was found face down, allegedly. Even the guy from the Cajun Navy is saying he could tell that the body was face down. But we had to go by dental records to identify him, and no parent ever laid eyes on Nolan. What is this crap? Why would the family have been restricted or barred or not allowed to see the body? Or did they not want to see the body? I, as a mother, and that's all I'm coming from, don't come at me. I'm a mom of 4. If God forbid something happened to one of mine, I will see everything. Maybe it's because I'm in true crime. I'm suspicious of everything. But that doesn't make no sense to me. And I've also heard it to where the mother arrived to meet the Cajun Navy guy, and the body wasn't that far away. Like, it was on the same little area. He could see the body being moved, I believe. So it's not like there was a logistics thing right at that moment. If the mother is on site, why wouldn't they have done a formal? They have law enforcement that found the body. Was she just overrun with grief? Wouldn't you want to make sure it's your son before you started digesting grief? I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that part. Hey, Lady Tidy, welcome back. Hey, Sash. Sash says they have just released a preliminary autopsy, allegedly. Let me go check. I'm on it, girlfriend. Okay. Nolan Wells. How do I spell preliminary? Prelim, INARY. Don't. I don't know how to spell that. Ben Crump, expected. Ben Crump will announce preliminary findings in Nolan Wells' case this week. Here's what we know. Yeah, it's saying that it will be this week. It says in just a few hours, according. All right, let's get over to this website real quick. Let's see what this breaking news is here, because I want to make sure we stay on it. Can you see it? Okay. This is from the New York Post. Let me shut my office door. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. My son has a cough, and he's on medicine, cough drops, all that, but he's been coughing. Okay, here we go. Let's get over to the New York Post. What did I do? Save it? Screenshot it? Nolan Wells, preliminary autopsy results. What is all this crap? To be revealed in just hours, lawyer reveals. Okay, let's listen to this. Can I skip the ad?
Owner,
Oh, hold on. We got another one. Okay.
Online Labels has.
This is New York Post, U.S. News. What is this? Is this another ad? Oh my gosh. It's a 50-minute. That'd be a long ad. It's a 50-second ad. Let's just read it. The preliminary findings from an independent autopsy on the body of Nolan Wells are set to be released in just hours. Who just told us of this? And thank you, Sash. Thank you for telling us this. That's what the family lawyer has revealed. Wells' parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, will join civil rights attorney Ben Crump as he announces what they have discovered so far about the teen's death at 9 a.m. Eastern Wednesday. They call that hours. I guess it's hours, but it's tomorrow, but still. Wells, 18, had been at a 4th of July boating trip with friends to Horn Island, Mississippi before he disappeared. Yep. And then they give a story. Says, okay. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner has performed an autopsy after Wells' body was found, but no official cause of death has yet been released. His body was then flown over 800 miles from his home state to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy funded by former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I'm not a sports fanatic. Crump previously said that the second autopsy would reveal if Wells had, quote, any physical injuries to his body beyond drowning. Wells was laid to rest at a packed funeral in his hometown Monday, exactly 2 weeks after his body was found. His body was brought to the church in a blue coffin with a silver trim by a white hearse and was placed at the front of the altar between framed photos of the promised athlete. The distraught mom says, quote, I ask that each of you keep Nolan's memory alive. Hold him close in your hearts, share his stories, and never stop saying his name. That is so sad. My heart breaks for her. So, Wednesday in the morning, we should know. Tomorrow morning. I thought it'd be sooner than that. Not your bad. They said hours, Sash. They said hours. I'm glad you told me. I didn't realize it was going to be that soon. I was expecting it to be a standoff. So I'm glad you headed me off there. But there is a lot to talk about in this case with Nolan. And one of the things I feel is that we have to really consider something. Somebody is lying. Somebody's lying. You're asking two sets of people who Nolan was last with, and they're saying the other person. That's a contradiction completely. And so right there you have the biggest problem, is that there's no one that is claiming to be with or even see Nolan alone. They're saying, I saw him heading off with the other person. Last I saw, the girl saying, I saw him and heard his voice saying, come on, Nolan. And that's where he was going. Then you have the voice saying, Nolan, told them, hey, I'm going to be leaving with her. So somebody is full of shit. And that's the problem, is that right there. And then the body. Okay, so the guy from Cajun Navy, he didn't say a lot, but one thing he said is what he didn't expect when he saw the body. Let's get into this a little bit. Let's see what we got to share today. Midnight Intuition. I just looked at it. It says 22 at 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't know, but I guess Google. Yeah, we'll definitely be staying on it. We'll definitely be staying
Normally
on that.
When a body's been floating, you'll see some bloating. I'm trying to think of the most respectful way to say it. The body did not seem at that height to be disproportionate to the way it should look. Normally when
So the body did not seem disproportionate to the way it should have looked. So he knows that the body can come to the surface between 2 to 4 hours due to bloating. He knows what to expect at the 2-hour mark, and that's what he seemed to think that the body appeared as. And so I feel that got misinterpreted as if there was no bloating, but that's not what he really said. And this is the guy that was in the air when the park ranger found Nolan, and he's from the United Cajun Navy, and he's looking down, I don't know how many feet, 400 feet, I don't know, 400 yards, but it's a long ways, but he can see the body. It's face down. He saw the arms, he saw the legs, and he's saying it didn't look disproportionate from what he expected. So that's not the unexpected part. We'll get into that. Let's continue. I want to play that part again. Listen close to what he says, just so we have it, right.
Normally when a body's been floating, you'll see some bloating. I'm trying to think of the most respectful way to say it. The body did not seem at that height to be disproportionate to the way it should look.
Right. So it didn't look disproportionate than the way it should have looked. He could have said it so much easier for everybody to He could have said, it's what I expected after 2 days in the water. How about that? That would have been a little easier to understand for me anyway. But let's continue here. Maybe.
Normally when a body's been floating, you know, normally when a body's
What is
been
going
floating,
on, y'all?
Okay, so celebrities are starting to step up in the case of Noah Wells, a Mississippi college student who disappeared and was found dead while out with his friends on the 4th of July. And now it's being reported that Tyler Perry will pay for the funeral and Colin Kaepernick will pay for an independent autopsy.
So that is being handled, the independent autopsy. Let's see what this is about.
Nolan Wells bombshell tonight. The dead teen's messages deleted after his body washes ashore. Uh-uh.
Right? Now, I have to say this, I have to ask this, even though I am highly suspect of everything, I have to put this out there for all of us to digest and really think about. They said, the parents, the mother specifically said, that Nolan's Snapchat was blank for the day. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, but that's an internet app. And if Nolan couldn't take a picture to put on Snap, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't be able to access Snapchat because there's absolutely no cell reception out there. So by 10 a.m., it looks like they're already on the boat, and by 11, they're in the water. So by 11 a.m., everything after that, there may not have been reception to even hook up to the app. Does that make sense? Hey, Tina. How you doing, lovely? And the sea is allegedly a lot warmer there, and therefore decomposition would happen faster, allegedly. Right. The warmer the body, the more decomposition there is. Well, okay. So I brought this up almost every video, and I'm not going to quit saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. And this is this. They have stated well, I'm paraphrasing, but they said that this is going to go to the grand jury when they're done with their investigation. Okay. However, they also stated that the prerequisite, the requirement for it to go to the grand jury would be 1, if foul play is suspected, or 2, it was an unknown cause of death. And that's what's got me hung up really strongly, is what if there wasn't water in the lungs and no one was found on the edge of land? Because we don't know, why would the park ranger move the body? I don't think so. But there were already police there when the United Cajun Navy guys are flying over. So did they move the body? And would anybody immediately move the body? Because it was allegedly on land just a little bit, but it was on land, not in water, and it was face down. So I'm thinking, is the stall because there was no water in the lungs? And if so, then that could really complicate this case for detectives, because then it suggests that they do not know what caused his death. Then they may hold off on releasing that autopsy until the toxicology comes back to see if there's something in that tox report that can lead them to understand why. Did that all make sense? I hope that made sense. But it's got me a little hung up there that it's like stalling to release this or delaying it, or, hey, Linda Lou, but they said they had to DNA to make a positive dental. They did dental teeth, not DNA, hon. Midnight Intuition said riptides will take you under, but you will not come up in the same spot on shoreline, in your opinion. Jennifer says, Pilot J, I'm white and Nolan's life was precious. Please don't take on cases according to color. What? I missed something. What? That's why I thought Mama D, no internet. Plus, if it was on the boat, he wouldn't be taking pictures. All right, let's dig a little deeper here. Here's this big problem. Allegedly, the sea tow company that allegedly would have towed the boys, the friends of Nolan, alleged friends, is come out. And they're saying they didn't tow the vehicle, the boat, that it was canceled before help was rendered because they found additional help somewhere else. So this is from Miss Selena Charles. She reposted it. Now, I don't know if this is fact. Do your own research, but this is what is being shared. Allegedly, the sea tow says assistance was canceled before it was rendered because the vessel owner reported help had already been obtained. Now, this person is saying, if that is accurate, then questions remain about who ultimately assisted the boat and how the timeline unfolded. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought it was peculiar because I had heard several times, well before I read that had actually been canceled. That they were only going 2 miles an hour or what, or not 2 miles, but like just a few knots. And they made the call in to another boater. And then the boater is the one that called this tow company. And then allegedly they got the boat going. And then they told that other boat, hey, we're good. Can you call and cancel that? That's what I had heard. And so now to see this, again, it's rumor, but it is very interesting. Hey, Angie, you said, I was thinking maybe Nolan survived longer in the water than we know and then drowned. I don't know, or foul play seems odd to me where his body was found, in your opinion, allegedly. Thank you. Right, Jenny. I don't know if it's truly canceled, but that's what I had heard. Linda Luce says if dental had to be used to make identification, decomp was in process. Yeah. And not having the mother identify the body. I don't know, y'all. All right, Midnight Intuition says they're saying body came up the same spot, but that was impossible. But that was impossible because I live on the Gulf Coast. JG George says they are staying tight-lipped because they are waiting for everything to come in. In my opinion, he was given something to render him incapable and then simply deprived him of oxygen until he passed. Oh, gracious. Was Nolan face down in the water or land? According to the Cajun Navy guy, he says face down and land. He says just a little ways up on land. So if the boy ain't got no water in his lungs, and if he was found on land, that would definitely be a cause for serious alarm. It would almost suggest that it would suggest that maybe they would have to find out if the body was waterlogged too, because obviously that would be happening if it was in the water. Also, that toxicology is going to be mighty important, you know? Let's listen to Nancy.
You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own?
Hold on, I'm going to move this out of the way for you. And we're going to make Nancy Grace real big so you can catch this. Okay, let's go ahead.
You're saying the park ranger found him. that leads me to believe there were no friends, there was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore? Somebody just left him out in the water? Does that make sense to you?
They got Nancy on the job. Them boys is going under the jail. And just think about it. It's information that she didn't even go into. Remember, the boy said they got told, and even the judge came out talking about that it got told. Well, the tow company came out and said after that call we all heard, they canceled it and didn't even need the tow. And the tow company is made a statement about it. So why would you tell us you got a tow and you didn't get a tow from them? And if somebody else did it, why wouldn't you say that? Y'all are playing word games. And I don't like it. Story developing. What if I told you? Nancy on their ass.
Okay. I want to talk about this real quick. All right. So I've been wanting to talk about this. This is the video that I shared. And then, okay, you guys, it was so weird. Like, day before yesterday, I shared the video. I said, newly leaked video. It appears to be a man matching Nolan's description, wearing the same exact outfit as the last thing Nolan was wearing. It looks like Nolan. All right. I said, what's this boat? Then TMZ comes out and plasters it all over as if none of us saw it before. I was like, oh my gosh. All right. So anyway, here's this footage, but I'll show you the footage. And then I grabbed this screenshot because do you see this dry bag right here? Right? Wet Seal TV at True Crime. Look at Nolan on boat picture with one friend standing with beverage can, not sitting pic. His shorts appear too long to match the new bit. I don't agree. I definitely don't agree. I can see right here on this picture where his shorts end right here. And that's about the length of his shorts. So now what you are seeing is you are seeing a blurry area right in here that's pixelated, but his short clearly ends right there. Let me take it off the screen and you can see what I'm saying. I can see brown skin right there and down. And it's probably the same over here. It's a little pixelated though, because you've got to remember, we're pulling this picture. Let me go over here. From here. That's allegedly Nolan. So I'm blowing that picture up. Yeah, I heard that, Jay Sanders. I did hear people were camping on that island on the 4th. So all I keep seeing is a yellow dry bag. And do you know why that's important? Because the dry bag, if it's Nolan's, and this is a dry bag, I was like, let me put it this way. I suggested that if Nolan really wasn't going to go back with his friends, he would take his phone with him because he's leaving on another boat. Okay? Because you can't get off the island without another boat. So if he's not going to go back to his friends, he's going to take his phone, just like his parents say, just like his friends say, and all that. His best friends, right? The ones the parents know, compared to Trayston, who they have no idea who the hell he is. All right, they're like, we've never seen him before. We don't know him. But let's get this straight. Every time I brought that up, people in Mississippi and other areas were like, no, nobody takes their phone off the boat, even if you're leaving, because it could get wet. And I was thinking to myself, well, that's weird, because 99% of all other people would just buy a dry bag, which is a bag that is absolutely waterproof and puffs up with air and floats, because you just twist it down and fold the little thing over, and it keeps a big air bubble in there, protects your phone, your ID, maybe your passport, whatever you need. All of us have that. I go kayaking, I have a dry bag. Now, some of the things you need to know about a dry bag. They're always brightly colored, because you want to be able to see it easy. I shouldn't say always. You can get black ones too. But generally, the general public buys the bright colored ones. Yellow, blues, greens, reds, like more primary and secondary colors that are going to pop when you see it. They float. You can get small ones. You can get big ones. And if Nolan was going to leave his friend's boat, if he wanted to take his phone and keep it dry, he could use a dry bag. You could put your towel in it. You could put your phone in it. You could put anything you want in a dry bag. All right? And Mother said phone showed 2 different spots on land. I hear you. All right, so this is what the dry bag looks like. A dry bag. And by golly, that seriously looks like a dry bag. To me, it's got something like a drink cup right here, and it looks like Nolan right here, in my humble opinion. And so therefore, we need to ask the mom and dad, when they've had a few days to catch their breath, somebody needs to be asking mom and dad, is that Nolan's dry bag? Because if that is Nolan's dry bag, then we got a way bigger mystery as to how his phone ended up back with those friends. And then I got to thinking about this Trayston. I don't trust Trayston. I just don't. Because the parents don't know him, and he's like, Nolan is my best friend. I just can't. And I got to thinking about this whole thing. What if the fight actually, what if Trayston's being honest, and that is his voice on that phone, and he's saying, get the F off my boat, okay? What if he's having a fight with Nolan? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Something's wrong with Trayston, in my opinion. He keeps popping up. He keeps coming to the rescue as if he's damage control soldier. You know, like, wait a minute, that's not Nolan's voice, that's my voice. Wait a minute, the pool party, that didn't happen then, it happened over here. See the metadata, we'll show it to you. Nobody I know actually performed the metadata on that pool party. No, Rolling Stones was just shown some metadata and told that's what that was. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And they were shown by Trayston and the friends. So Trayston, I just don't. Once Mama said, I don't know that boy, and it's real reach to say that they're best friends, that they're close, I got real uncomfortable with all the headlines running Trayston Shepard's name. And I'm just like, I know he has 1 or 2 pictures with Nolan, and he's always in the same clothes, and so is Nolan. It's like they had one event. So I don't trust Trayston at all. Wet Seal TV, I know you're here to, run damage control. I can tell by your comments. But you don't need to put it in all cap to make your point. We get you. Sasha says Trayston is running the narrative for some reason, and he is doing the rounds shady, in my opinion. You know who Trayston reminds me of, personally? After working the Jay Slater case from the very beginning, all the way through the last Inquisition, 19-year-old boy that in the middle of the day just walked off that cliff. Trayston reminds me of totally mad man is totally mad Ahab. That's who he reminds me of. They love, what if one of the kids are right and there was a fight at one of the kids' house and he was dead? They realized he was recording, took his phone to erase, and took him back to the island. I don't know. What if, right? I don't believe or trust any of them. They're all sus to me, Vanilla. Wet Seal, stop coming in here and telling me how to do my thing and causing me to get distracted from what I'm already showing. Now, I am going to do it because I'm not covering shit up. I have no reason to. Okay? I'm just a mom that comes out here and been, working cases for the last 6 years. But if you do that one more time where you accuse me of something doing wrong, you will be out the door faster than you can kiss your butt goodbye. I'm just saying, don't do that. So, Jennyville, put them on a timeout, but I will show it just because they're trying to manipulate, and I don't like that shit. All right, so we're going to go find this picture that this person is demanding that I show for them on my live channel so that they feel better, okay? Boy, I don't like people like that. They're a tater tot, and you know what I mean when I say a tater tot. All right. Okay, let me go find it. So we need the one with the friends and him drinking. I'm sure I've got it. If not, we can find it. Okay, right here it is. Let's go back up. Gotta find that picture of him here. All right, you guys, let's see what her point is. Okay, let's do a little drawing, y'all. So that this, what are they called? Wet Seal TV. You can calm the hell down. All right, so what they want me to do is show this picture where Nolan Wells' shorts measure just above the knee. Okay? Just above the knee. And he's sitting. We all know when you stand up, your pants or your shorts are going to go about 2 inches longer, right? If you have on a skirt, ladies, and you're standing up, you know what I mean? Or not skirt, but pants or shorts, they hike up on your legs when you sit. And in shorts, when you stand up, they relax and they drop about 2 inches. But let's go ahead and make the point. All right, so let's do this even better. Hold on. Let's take this picture. Let's just crop it down to just Nolan and the shorts for a minute, all right? So that we can see it nice and big for this person that likes to come in and control people's chat. Now let's draw. As you can see very clearly that they are hiked up a little bit because he is sitting. And the way you can see it is because there are a lot of freaking wrinkles. Now, let's come over here to this picture. Let me make it bigger so you can see what I'm saying. Let me get my drawing stick. Right here down, I can see brown legs. I see the dark brown legs. Now he is leaning, his hips come down like this because he's got this foot hiked up, right? This knee is bent because he's pulling that knee forward. And so this side is going to be a little bit longer. But his knee is right here. So it's exactly the same. All right? So go kiss my butt. All right, let's get back into what we have to talk about. Dry bag. Lord, some people are just tater tots. Midnight intuition, yes. And who knows, this person doing this could be one of you know who. Yes, I'm sure they are. That's right. Your shorts right up when you sit. Correct. Cinderella Ella. You can see it better at normal view. Okay, well, thank you, lovely. All right, you guys. I'm not going to put up with it. Okay, over here, you guys, we've got this dry bag. Well, we have a man that has washed up, passed away. Nobody recalls seeing him last. But within 3 feet of him, there's a dry bag in the last suspected video of him. It really makes me suspicious to think, why would he not have his phone? His parents have said he would not have left his phone behind. His best friend has said she doesn't think that he would have left his phone behind. And yet we get told that if you're from Mississippi, you don't take your phone out of the boat. Nobody does. But if you're leaving the boat and you're going to return and travel across the land to a completely different destination, you're not going to leave your phone behind. So the boys are saying, Nolan said he was leaving and heading off with the girl. At that moment, I have a problem as to why Nolan wouldn't have said, give me my phone, especially if he's got a dry bag. Aw, thank you, Cinderella Ella. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. Okay. Have dad in the hospital, not much. Oh, Nikki, honey, sending your dad so much love and healing energy and prayers. I didn't know that. And to you, and protect you. Okay, let's get into this a little bit here. We're going to be talking about something else here. So let's get back into Miss Nancy Grace and hear what she has to say.
Joining us with New York Post. Caitlin, the Life 360 seems to show something very different than other digital evidence. What do you know about that discrepancy?
It comes down to location, where the Life 360 shows him on dry land versus where the Snapchat showed him in the water, where he was and where the phone was positioned. So that is something that I think forensic investigators have to look into, digital forensic investigators, because it's difficult to determine from looking at it from our perspective, where was the phone actually? Was it out on the water at the last time it was used? Was it on dry land at the last time it was used? And when his mom went to...
Oh my gosh. Finally, I get what they're saying. So if Nolan, if his phone, okay, I think I get it. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this part. So wherever Nolan last used that phone, how would Life 360 say he was in the water, though, if there's no reception? See, that's where I'm stuck. Let's go back and listen. I'm not getting it quite.
go pick it up, who was the last person to have used it? That's something that sticks out to me, because I have to imagine it was password protected, and why would someone else have his password? But it
Wouldn't it tell you? Wouldn't his phone? No, it would. His phone would give the exact time, the last time his phone was used. So, you know what I'm saying? The last time Nolan used his phone could be found out so very easily. However, if the phone in the forensics, which they're going to be reviewing, shows that Nolan, if his phone got used after they left the first time in the morning. Yeah, this is complicated. Phones always get me. But if his phone was used that night, real late, that'd be also an alarm because I'm so confused by this. Somebody tell me what this means about this phone stuff. I'm not getting this. Wouldn't it naturally just show the 11 o'clock when they were heading out to sea because there would be no reception the rest of the time? And unless one of the friends popped that app open, the phone on, it would just retain the last moment before Nolan went to the trip. You see what I'm saying? Because why would Nolan touch his phone if he had no reception? Could be to videotape, because you could still videotape and then upload the video later. I guess he could touch it for that. You can download videos, but it doesn't look like that's what anybody's doing. Nobody has their phone out there. I just feel this is so confusing. Angie, please don't say that about other people. If you believe that, that's fine, but don't call somebody a liar. That's slander.
Seems as
Don't
though
do that.
his mom did or that they did, so they were able to get into the phone. So the timeline of his disappearance is a big question mark because you're getting two different locations from two different apps.
That's confusing the crap out of me.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace.
Okay, yeah. All right, now, there might be something going on behind the scenes that is going to make a lot more sense. So, Nolan can't file a lawsuit on his own behalf because he passed away. And so, it would make sense that the mother is going to file the paperwork to be able to be the voice for Nolan's estate. And in that way, she could still sue civilly. And in doing that, there would be an investigation into it as if a civil suit that would allow them to see things and do things in court that they normally can't do because they're not law officials. Well, there was a filing on July 20th, which was when they laid Nolan to rest, by Christina Wells Woolsey. And in that, it's to petition to open estate, appoint administrations, grant letters of administration, and for other relief. And so it's kind of hinting that this, and think about it, Ben Crump is a civil rights activist and lawyer, right? So it makes me feel like they're going to get into this investigation one way or another, even if they have to go about it through a civil suit. Did that make sense? Cinderella Ella. Oh, Mama D rocks the world. You are the best. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. Says, what about if there is something like Starlink on the boat? Wouldn't it link up with your phone and make it come on, etc.? That's an amazing point. It very well could. And out of all those boats, there had to be a few Starlinks. Unless somebody has the signal locked. See, you guys are so smart on this. Top carry, bang. GPS will show exact movements of Nolan's phone. Correct. The issue was the phone with Nolan? There's something suspicious about the manner of his death, in your opinion. I agree. Don't have Starlink on boats, but possibly on something there, Sash, in your opinion. They do have Starlinks on boats. They definitely have Starlink available on boats because the Lynette Hooker case, Brian Hooker had Starlink. So you can have it on a boat. Whether they had it out there, we don't know. Linda Michael says, could they get a printout of his phone from the company that he has his service with? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does take warrants and so forth, but it can easily be done. I mean, I shouldn't say easily, but it can be done. If the phone is in the mom's name, there's no court order required. With him being 18, it might very well be in the mom's name. That is brilliant, Jennifer. I hope it is. Jay Sanders, and the autopsy press conference will be tomorrow morning at NAACP headquarters in Chicago. I see a civil suit coming. Oh, like a big pink elephant in the room. Whose boat did it belong to? Good question. Good question. You guys are asking the right questions. All right, my lovelies. That's what I have to share with you. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of Nancy Grace, a little bit of the tow company saying they didn't tow nobody. A little bit of, is that a yellow dry bag? Does that belong to Nolan? And if so, then this makes the mystery as to why he didn't have his phone with him so much deeper. And a little bit of $100,000 reward put out now and paid for. So if somebody can come forward, that would be fantastic. Maybe they can get the $100,000. Okay. I mean, it's a good cause. Nolan Wells deserves the absolute truth and nothing but the absolute truth. I don't pretend to have the answers, but I definitely have a lot more questions. When I told you that I just don't feel right about Trayston Shepard ever since Nolan's mama said she don't even know him, neither does the dad, I'm going to find out. Is he telling us the truth? So if you want to join me, continue on with me, we will be doing 2 more lives after this, and I invite you to tune in with me. Do the jump, all right? Okay, my lovelies, are you ready? Shall we do this? I will see you again very soon. Thank you for the likes and subscriptions and all the hypes after the video live is done. Thank you to my replay crew. Thank you to my live audience. Thank you all so very much. And Nolan Wells, may you rest in peace.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to the light, I feel alive. I'm a fire, burning bright, I'll never die. Like a phoenix.